jackass dumbass got arrested. He did get arrested. There's video of him getting arrested and of the cop getting in his face and calling him a fucking idiot. And I'm sure Rev is going to show it. So, well, Rev's glasses are more normalized. His glasses are looking normal, thankfully. Thankfully. We will see how they continue to be. I know, cronies. I know. No. But he hasn't been to court yet. Anyway, before I start yapping on it, let's jump into it. Rev might have some good information about this. He might have some booking documents or something. Let's take a look. Rev, with your normalized glasses, please take it away.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So it looks like Christmas came early this year because we have a wonderful gift to enjoy, a new chapter in the satisfying downfall of one of the most infamous YouTubers on the platform. Now, in case you guys don't know who this is, his name is Jack Doherty, and he has been arrested in Miami, Florida. Now, if you don't know who he is, I'll explain why people dislike him so much in just a second. But
he's an asshole.
Very good reasons as to why there are millions of people relishing in his arrest. And also in this video, we're going to be looking at the actual arrest video. And boy, is it satisfying.
Here we go.
He is facing some pretty serious charges that might actually land him in the slammer. And also during this, we will see...
Well, we will see. But gut feeling off the jump, he's not doing time. My gut feeling, he won't do time. He will. But we'll see if we have an indication on the charges.
This cop right here, greatly humble, this very cocky young man. So why does everyone hate Jack Doherty so much? Well, this photo's not a very good start, but he is someone who's been on YouTube for very, very long. You can see he has 15 million subs on the platform, and he has videos that are around a decade old, meaning for a 22-year-old man in the year 2025, he was uploading videos around the age of 12, which is already a really a bad way to go about things because...
And therein lies the issue with Jackass Dumbass, with Johnny, with all of these chaos streamers. They literally grew up making content. And we see the results. This is why, 12-year-olds should not be content creators. Kids should not start doing content creation like this until they are at least 18. Because we see what happens when they start doing content creation at this young of an age, get popular and make a fuck ton of money, you turn into Jack Doherty. You turn into Johnny Somali. It will literally destroy them because they have no fucking concept of how reality works. They have no concept of how to be a normal fucking person. Jack Doherty is the poster child for this.
People talk about child actors in Hollywood messing their lives up as they get older, chasing the money and fame and trying to hold on to that success forever. I think it's the same thing with social media, putting kids in this situation really bad, especially when their old videos were getting 30 million views. But over time, things did not hold up. He would fall off quite hard. In fact, looking at his most recent video from 4 days ago, 38,000 views on a clickbaited, staged video where they were annoying people in public. Okay, and that is kind of the theme of his content for the last couple of years, where he is pretty much doing anything in his power to get attention, no matter the cost. And one of his gimmicks...
Tuxedo Mask, he's not only falling off, he's getting banned. He's been banned from a lot of platforms. He got banned from Twitch. They took him back for reasons that I don't understand. He got banned from Kick. For a while, I think he was only able to go on sites like Party, but Twitch did take him back, and I believe he's also streaming on YouTube. I think he's streaming on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure. But people like him and Johnny, they'll get banned off platforms. Sometimes they get taken back. honestly, like these platforms that ban these, like when he wrecked his McLaren because he was driving like an idiot in a hurricane while streaming, he should have been nuked off the platform. He got into a high-speed wreck with his McLaren. He hurt his cameraman and forced the cameraman to keep fucking filming while his cameraman is sitting there bleeding from a head wound. And he's like, here, take the camera and take a shot of me. And then he just stood out in the rain looking like, oh, I'm so traumatized. In the meantime, his fucking cameraman, who's supposedly his friend, is literally bleeding from a head wound. Why he did not get perma'd right then and there, I don't know. Because I think he was on Twitch when that happened. And he got a temporary ban, but then he was allowed back onto Twitch. It's nuts.
That he's been doing for years is walking around
Was
in
he on
public
kick on that one?
and
Okay.
shoving
Well,
himself
I know he got
into
permanently from
strangers
kick.
to provoke a response out of them. And when they confront him, he hides behind his bodyguard.
Not so fast, little bro. Not so fast, little bro. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
See, back then when he was pulling this shit, guy should have called cops. Back then, when this happened, does this happen like what, what, was this like 5 years ago? This guy that he did this to should have called the cops and had both of them arrested. Have him for simple battery, have him arrested for intimidation. Should have had them both arrested. The people that he does this shit to, as soon as he does it, they should immediately get on the phone and say, yeah, I was just assaulted. Can you come and arrest this guy? And then with the bodyguard, yeah, the bodyguard got in my face when I went to speak to him about it, and basically said that he kicked the shit out of me if I tried to talk to him. So I'd like the bodyguard arrested too for intimidation or assault. Like, if that had happened, if these people had called the police and these two fuckers got hooked up immediately, way back when this was filmed, which I think was like 5 years ago, she wouldn't have been able to keep doing this shit. That's the key. If you get one of these chaos live streamers that pull shit like this, call 911. Call 911 immediately. Call the cops on them when they do this shit, and actually press charges. Well, no, because especially because he was streaming it, he has the video footage, because he bumped into him. He was deliberately sticking his arms out to try and deliberately bump into people, and then when he went to go talk to him about it, he's got his bodyguard in. At the very least, hook up the bodyguard. Hook up the bodyguard for intimidation or assault. Because he went to go confront him and say, hey man, what are you doing? And the bodyguard immediately jumps into him like, I will beat the shit out of you if you try to go close. Arrest the bodyguard. Like, if police got him, like, every single time he did this shit, if they called the police, he might have locked that down real quick, and the police would get tired of his bullshit really quick and would not hesitate to start arresting him. If they had done that way back when this was shot, I imagine he wouldn't have been doing this kind of shit for very long.
No. Yo, what's up? What's up? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, little bro? What you gonna do? Uh-oh, he's mad. Uh-oh. What you gonna do, little bro?
Get that bodyguard in the nuts, I'll drop him. See, the way he's looking. See, right there. Look at what he did. Look. Deliberate. That was deliberate. While it's not like harming anybody, what he just did there would be considered simple battery. He didn't punch someone. No, he didn't attack someone. But if you make physical contact, non-consensual physical contact, which is what he did, and he looked at that woman as he did it, battery. Not assault mafia, battery. The physical contact is battery. Placing someone in fear of receiving a battery is assault. So what he did is, by the legal definition, simple battery. Have him arrested.
What? Little bro, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, bro? Yeah. Yeah.
I think this image
Cold
right
cops
here
aren't a-
captures Jack perfectly. This is the kind of guy that he's become. And this is the only way he can get attention is by being obnoxious.
No, Revan, the streamer that got shot and killed, the Chaos streamer that got shot and killed, what he didn't do it to this degree, but he did act. He actually acted in a very loud way, like he was going to attack someone. So he rushed at just some guy on the street, pretending like he was going to attack him and harm him, and this person who was legally carrying a firearm was in fear of his life, pulled his firearm, and shot the chaos streamer and killed him. And that person was actually found not guilty. That person that shot the streamer was arrested and was found not guilty because he was in reasonable fear of his life with what that streamer did. So yeah, that's the fact that somebody didn't pull a gun in Florida is a little surprising.
And hiding behind a stronger man. Now, I don't know if Jack knows this, but if he does go to prison, and it's definitely a chance with the charges he has, he will not be allowed to bring his bodyguard with him to prison. I hope he knows that. But there's been a lot of other stunts that didn't just annoy other people, it put other people's lives in danger.
Yeah, this one.
Back in 2024, he was live streaming while driving his $200,000 McLaren, and during which he started reading his chat, and while he was distracted reading his chat, he spun out of control into a guardrail, and as you can see, it pretty much flattened his car. Now, in this accident, Jack was
He should have been arrested for this. He should have been arrested for reckless driving. They should have thrown every charge they could have at him. Texting while driving, that is I believe that's a traffic charge in Florida, but also reckless driving. This is the epitome of reckless driving. That is a misdemeanor. He should have been arrested. Revan? It was in the middle of a fucking hurricane. He did this during the hurricane that year, last year. That was when the hurricane was starting to make landfall, and he was deciding to drive around streaming during the hurricane. He should have been arrested for this. The fact that he did not get arrested for this is so disappointing. They should have hooked his ass up for reckless driving, and his driver's license should have been suspended for it.
Escaped, but his cameraman in the passenger seat was injured, and he came out bloodied in his face.
Yes.
He clearly needed some help. And what did Jack do? Well, he pulled out his phone. Now you might be thinking, did he call 911?
Oh no.
No. He pulled out his phone to record himself and make content.
Yep.
This is this is a
he
very
had his cameraman do it.
set of behavior.
He had his cameraman film him. His head-injured cameraman who was bleeding from the head. He forced his cameraman to film him.
Behavior where literally you can be in a serious car accident with your cameraman injured on the side, and the first thing you think of
that is basically what he did.
Content. Yeah, not good. And he would actually get banned on Kick, one of the many times he's been banned on that platform.
Yeah, I forgot.
He was
on Kick and got banned.
Now, this next controversy that made people very suspicious of him is a lot different than what we've been talking about. But basically, the second he hit 18 years old, he started making OnlyFans content. And that is another example of that predatory platform targeting people where they believe the second they can legally, they should, which I've talked about that platform before and how much I hate it and how predatory I think it is. But anyways, there's some arcs to this that make it extra disturbing. So over the past couple of years, he's talked about how girls. Basically he, quote unquote, manages multiple accounts of
and this is where Rev might get into it. Actually,
other young women. Basically, in the eyes of many, he's their pimp. I mean, explain to me how it's not.
One of them being his girlfriend.
There's this other element to it where he has a very large young audience. Like, that's the majority of his followers. They are minors, okay? It's not like some YouTuber with like a 1% of their audience being underage. No, like that's the entire core
Oh, yeah,
of his
Raven, she
audience.
did.
And it's not surprising
Yeah.
given
When him and his girlfriend broke up, she was like his #1 money ticket on OnlyFans. And she broke up with him, took all of her passwords, all of her electronic keys for her OnlyFans account, and took that with her. And now he was out like $1 million. When they broke up, he literally lost $1 million from that, and that's what he was pissed off about. He is a digital pimp, flat out. He is a digital pimp.
his old content that made him famous in the first place. And in his YouTube videos and across his social media, he has promoted this adult content to this very young audience. And when pressed on this by Pack God, he pretty much just admitted to knowing that's going on and not caring because it's just business.
Okay, well, let's move on real quick. So, a lot of people have, some fault with you promoting OnlyFans to young children. What would you say to these people who say that, that's an irresponsible thing to do? Making videos for young children.
I don't care, I'm making
editing
money.
That's stylized for young children, and then at the end of these videos, what you're doing is promoting pornography. What do you say to that?
Business, dog.
Yeah.
What do you about it?
It's just business?
I'm kidding. Stop.
No, okay, Jack, come on, man, come on. Just how about you just say it, but then stand
just
by it.
realized
just say
he
it's just
said the
business, and then
truth.
be like, it's just business. Just say just be like, look, I'm gonna promote.
I'm not gonna come off as a douche. Like it's just like at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and
Just be like, I'm gonna promote to kids because I want to make money, and that's it.
Yep.
Right?
I'm kidding. All right, ready? You don't.
That's his thing. He'll actually say the truth there and try to cover up with, I'm kidding. It's the whole in Minecraft thing. Where he's like, I'm kidding. No, you're not, dude. Nobody thinks that you're kidding. Everybody knows you're serious. By the way, can we also just appreciate this, like, dirt that he has grown on his chin that he's trying to pretend is a beard? Like, we'll probably get another close-up. Like, look at the dirt. Like, look at the pubes that he has on his chin.
You don't gotta look
He's
at it like that.
literally
There's a
got
million people
pubes on
online
his
that are
chin,
social
and
media
he's
influencers
pretending
that do
like
OnlyFans.
I have a
People
beard.
that you don't even think do it. Like,
Would you say that if you were to look in the mirror right now, and you see yourself in the mirror and you say, I'm proud of who I am today, would you say that or not? And just be honest with me.
for sure, I definitely would say I'm proud of who I am today.
Yeah, there's pretty much no length this guy will not go to make more money and get more attention, to the point of doing some, quite frankly, very disturbing behavior that's putting his young audience in danger and exploiting them. But it doesn't end there. Apparently, he also did
the crypto pump and dump
scam. I mean, of course,
And
that's
he did
what
it
every
live on stream,
failed
too. He
YouTuber
dumped
does
on
eventually.
stream.
And then he thought it would be a good idea earlier this year to whip out his bike and do stunts in a public parking lot, and he would injure himself and get
I think he
banned
did, Andrea.
yet again. But that leads us to the arrest. I mean, that's just a small snapshot of the things he has done. But as you can see, the headline from TMZ here, content creator Jack Doherty arrested in Florida. Now, lucky for us, we have the actual arrest footage here, and it's a doozy. So I'm going to pause just to give you a heads up. I'm going to pause pretty early into this. I want you to pay attention to his hands and where he's reaching for, okay?
I got him.
Right here.
I'm just saying I got him. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if
For
you
his
really
phone.
saw that. He was reaching for his phone, kind of fumbling it, and it got very close to the officer's belts where his weapons are. And for a second, when I first watched this, I'm like, am I watching Live Leak right now? Is that what's going to happen right now? 'Cause
Honestly, I am shocked that when he did that reach, the cop didn't torque the fuck out of his arm and put him face first into the pavement. Now, my guess is this officer's firearm is on his right hip. So my guess is he didn't have his firearm on his left hip where he was reaching for his phone, and that's probably why the cop didn't basically snap his arm like a twig before putting him on the floor. There is a possibility if this officer is carrying a taser or pepper spray, that's a concern. All I know is if I'm placing someone into custody, if I were to be placing someone into custody like this, and all of a sudden he starts reaching his other hand towards me, that arm is going into an arm bar and his face is going into the pavement. I don't play fuck around. Even if he's some dumb fucking, like, wannabe, gangsta white boy, his ass goes to the ground if he reaches like that. Maybe this officer, like, knew something or had established something at this point and was not, in fear of his safety when he reached for his phone. But he's really fucking lucky. Because this is fucking Florida. You reach towards a cop while you're in the process of being taken into custody, you'd be lucky to get out without a broken arm.
Reaching for an officer's weapon, yeah. Hi.
Hi.
That's game over in the United States. And no, he was grabbing his phone very clumsily. And yeah, it just reflects the kind of guy he is. He's literally halfway into handcuffs. He's got one arm into handcuffs, and he's reaching for his phone. How brain broken is this guy?
Yo, back up. Yo.
Yeah, look at, I love this cop.
Go to the sidewalk now. Go to the sidewalk now. You want to go with him? You're funny.
You want to be fucking funny.
Go to the sidewalk now.
You want to be funny. You try to get on the street, go on the fucking street.
Okay, so let me give you some more context. This is the bodyguard you guys saw earlier who...
Yeah, the fact that they didn't tell this bodyguard back the fuck up is a little surprising. Considering this is his bodyguard, and he's with him the whole time, I'm a little surprised these cops didn't tell him, get on the sidewalk, and if he refused, one of them pulls out the taser. That honestly surprised me a little bit. Well, dear, because he didn't try to stop the officers from arresting Jack. He's just standing there, but for officer safety, they should have told him, go stand on the sidewalk unless you want to go to jail. Get on the sidewalk unless you're not involved anymore. Go step up on the sidewalk unless you want to go to jail with him.
Funny enough, he's kind of over it. You can see by the end of this clip, but this officer right here who's facing him is chewing him out, basically saying, you're not funny, dude. You wouldn't follow our instructions. And by the way, one of the charges is resisting arrest. And he's chewing him out, basically saying, who are you? Like, what is with your attitude, your entitlement? Who are you?
Who the fuck you think you are, bro? No, you're fucking not. Like, after I fucking do this, who the fuck are you, bro? Doesn't matter, bro. All you had to do was get in the fucking sidewalk. That's it. You want to be fucking funny?
Bye.
That's it, bro.
Free JD.
Let's see. All right, hang on.
Broken cuffs and grabbed for him.
Hang on.
I'm just saying, I got it. Back up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't try and stop him. He's talking to him. So he didn't actually try to stop him. But this man being this bodyguard being that close, I like, if I was one of those officers, I'd be telling that bodyguard, back away now or you go to jail. Back away or you can go to jail for interfering.
Free JD. Free JD.
Person behind this camera saying free JD, free Jack Doherty.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Please, stop embarrassing yourself.
You're great.
Everything gotta be some goddamn content, man.
So that was his bodyguard going, everything's got to be for some content, huh? And that's what he was trying to say as they were cuffing him. He was saying he was just trying to make a video. Of course, that's what they always say. It's just a prank, bro. We've heard that one before. So what are the charges he's facing? Well, there is a couple.
Amphetamines.
He was arrested on 3 charges: possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest.
That amphetamine,
now,
if there was a good amount, that could...
You can see the last 2 are first-degree misdemeanors under Florida and related statutes.
They'll drop
there.
these.
And
the
top one, possession of a controlled substance, which he had an amphetamine without a valid prescription, that is a felony.
And don't forget, this is Florida, where meth labs are pretty prevalent. Florida is bad when it comes to the meth labs. So possession of amphetamines without a prescription, Florida takes kind of seriously. These two are going to get dropped. The marijuana and the resisting, they'll get dropped. Unfortunately, I have a suspicion that they're going to cut a deal on the amphetamines. Unfortunately, he's realistically, chat, he's not going to spend time behind bars. Realistically. He's not going, realistically, he's not going to probably do jail time. They're going to cut, you know, he's going to get mommy and daddy's lawyer. They're going to talk to the DA. They're going to cut some kind of a deal. And he's probably not going to spend any time in jail. But he should. He literally is in possession of a controlled substance. He should go to prison. He absolutely should go to prison. Don't treat him special just because he's jackass dumbass.
Now, for those who don't understand how the U.S. works with this, the difference between a misdemeanor and a felony is the degree of seriousness and the punishment. A felony means it can carry at least 1 year in prison, potentially. So this isn't just jail
Shadow.
or a fine or something like that. He'd be going to the big house, actual prison. Again, like I said earlier, where's this guy right here? You're not going to have your bodyguard in prison. This guy's not going to make it in prison, okay? So I don't care what he's got to do. I don't care what funds he needs to get, whether it's from the pump and dump crypto scams or his pages, if you will. But get all that money together and get yourself the best lawyer to make sure you're not going to prison, because this guy's not going to make it. And I don't care if he would have to serve,
he's not going to spend any time in prison.
100 years of community service or something.
Unfortunately.
It's better than even a year.
But he'll have a record.
Guy. But yeah, this is a very serious situation. And I think he's going to realize this very quickly. But
no, he's not.
This is all for content,
no, he's not.
man.
He won't.
That's what this all is about. It's just the incessant need to produce content and to get attention. He's only 22 years old. Like, think about that. It feels like we've been watching this dude's antics for, like, ever. But they started at a very young age, and because the attention he got, and the fact it's dwindling, he feels like he has to keep going the next level. And yeah, this is just a mess for him. And based on everything I've covered in this video, his history, you can see why people are cheering for his arrest.
And Play Otaku, I agree.
And that's just
the bodyguard should be arrested.
But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, so what we're going to end up seeing on this, he's not going to spend any time behind bars. What we're going to see is, unless we get a DA that does want to make an example of him, maybe he's familiar with Jack's content and says, all right, I want to make an example of this fucker, that you want to be a chaos streamer in the state of Florida, you're going to pay the price. So the only hope is that we get a DA that decides he's not playing fuck around with Jack and actually pushes for legit punishment and doesn't do a plea bargain. Realistically, he's probably going to get it's probably going to get pled down. He's going to get maybe a fine, maybe community service, and that's it. And what's going to end up happening is he's going to use this for his content. He's going to start acting like he is all hard because he got arrested. He's going to milk the shit out of this because he got arrested and nothing came of it. And so he will milk the crap out of this and pretend like he is some hard thug because he got arrested. Realistically, that's going to happen. Now, what can change this? If they do play it down and he just gets like a fine and maybe community service or something, is if people go onto his stream when he's doing this chaos, and if they know where he is located, his troll viewers start calling the cops on him. If you really want to fuck with Jack Doherty, when he keeps doing this shit and he keeps basically committing crimes on stream by being a little thuggy asshole, if they know where he's at, if they can get a good location out of him, start calling his viewers start calling the police of the location where he's at and say, yeah, there's someone doing this. and get the police sent out every time. If you want to fuck with him, that would be a way to fuck with him. No, Garrett, I'm not endorsing for gating. I'm endorsing if someone commits a crime, that's why I specify. If he's committing a crime, that's not for gating. If he is committing a crime, you are acting as a good, law-abiding, and upstanding citizen and informing the police that there is a crime being committed. That's all I'm saying. If he commits a crime, that's all I'm saying. You know?